Alright, let's see if this works.
Junk Shop Libraries Improv Bible Study. Are you ready for this?
Alrighty. Well, thank you all for sticking with me as I tackle a pretty steep learning curve here. Our passage today is going to be Deuteronomy 7, and without any further ado, let's see what the good book has in store for us today. Brace for impact, y'all. It's the Word of the Lord. The fifth book of Moses, called Deuteronomy. Chapter 7. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them, and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are on the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him, he will repay him to his face. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments, and the statutes, and the judgments, which I command thee this day, to do them. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if ye hearken to these judgments, and keep and do them, that the Lord thy God shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy which he sware unto thy fathers. And he will love thee, and bless thee, and multiply thee. He will also bless the fruit of thy womb, and the fruit of thy land, thy corn, and thy wine, and thine oil, the increase of thy kine, and the flocks of thy sheep, in the land which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you, or among your cattle. And the Lord will take away from thee all sickness, and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt which thou knowest upon thee, but will lay them upon all that hate thee. And thou shalt consume all the people which the Lord thy God shall deliver thee. Thine eye shall have no pity upon them, neither shalt thou serve their gods, for that will be a snare unto thee. If thou shalt say in thine heart, These nations are more than I, how can I dispossess them? Thou shalt not be afraid of them, but shalt well remember what the Lord thy God did unto Pharaoh and unto all Egypt, the great temptations which thine eyes saw, and the signs, and the wonders, and the mighty hand, and the stretched out arm, whereby the Lord thy God brought thee out. So shall the Lord thy God do unto all people of whom thou art afraid. Moreover, the Lord thy God will send the hornet among them, until they that are left and hide themselves from thee be destroyed. Thou shalt not be affrighted at them, for the Lord thy God is among you, a mighty God and terrible. And the Lord thy God will put out these nations before thee by little and little. Thou mayest not consume them at once, lest the beasts of the field increase upon thee. But the Lord thy God shall deliver them unto thee, and shall destroy them with a mighty destruction, until they be destroyed. And he shall deliver their kings into thine hand, and thou shalt destroy their name from under heaven. There shall be no man able to stand before thee until thou hast destroyed them. The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein, for it is an abomination to the Lord thy God. Neither shalt thou bring an abomination into thine house, lest thou be a cursed thing like it. But thou shalt utterly detest it, and thou shalt utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing. And there we have Deuteronomy 7. Okie dokie. Well, that was weird. I wouldn't have said it was possible to so effectively balance tedious repetition with batshit crazy new stuff. Let's see here. The Lord thy God, blah, 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 brought you out of the house of Pharaoh, blah, blah, blah. Kick out the Hittites and the Girgashites and the so forths and the so on. Kill them all. Don't marry them. Go into the land, take possession of it, take dominion over it, kick everybody's ass that stands in your way, and God will, the same sort of dominionist crap we've been hearing pretty much since Yahweh's floating lamp days. And threats of how horrible it's going to be if you turn aside from Yahweh. He doesn't like being cheated on. And if you do everything right and you kill everybody who's already in the land that's been turned over unto you, there will be no barrenness among you, not among your males, your females, nor your cattle, and everything you have will multiply exceeding great. If you were to have jumped right into this part of the thing, could you have told that last little bit of verbiage between my tone and how stupid and weird it is? Could you have told whether or not that was improv or scripture? Lord have mercy, this is a weird fucking book. Okay. Let's see. Consume them all, drive them all out, bust up their shit. Remember Pharaoh. And then weird interjections start round about verse 15. The evil diseases of Egypt which thou knowest are not going to come upon the children of Israel, but upon the poor motherfuckers who are in this land that the children of Israel are fixing to rampage through. If Moses ever shuts up, goes up the mountain and dies so that we can get on with the damn story. Yeah. So apparently, I don't know, what have they developed immunity? Everybody who hasn't died of the evil diseases of Egypt over the last 2 generations has developed immunity, and now they're just gonna the smallpox blanket this shit. I don't know. Don't be afraid. I know there's more of them than you. Oh, and then verse 20, more weird bug stuff. You remember a few chapters back where Moses was summarizing? He said there was that little offshoot group of people who were not doing right, and the peoples of the land fell upon them and chased after them as bees do. I know Molly remembers it because I saw her comment about that. Not as bees do, dear God, no. Well, verse 20, moreover, the Lord thy God will send the hornet among them, until they that are left and hide themselves from thee be destroyed. So don't worry if the plagues you brought out of Egypt don't get them. God's gonna send hornets to kill the ones who hide in holes and get away from your soldiers. Good grief. Weird, weird, weird. Bees, hornets, plagues of locusts and flies and stuff back in Egypt. Is this God actually like a John Constantine character, and just nobody picked up on it like the oh, what was it? What was it? What was the hunger demon in the Constantine comics that manifested as a swarm of bugs and made you so hungry that you ate your Superman comics and the walls of your house and everything? I just, maybe a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't cloud and fire at all. Maybe it was lightning bugs. The God of the Old Testament. That's my new theory. The God of the Old Testament is actually a mammoth hive mind of lightning bugs, and Moses spent so much time in the sulfur vapors up the mountain that he thought it was that he thought this swarm of lightning bugs was God, and has been dragging these people all around the desert for 40, 50, 60 years, hell bent on trying to catch up with his pillar of smoke and fire God, which is actually lightning bugs. But his immediate family is so dad blasted loyal to him and has such a track record of killing people who stand against him that nobody's been willing to tell old man Moses that he's actually completely demented, and he's been following a swarm of lightning bugs through the desert for the better part of 100 years. That is 100% what this chapter is about. Suck it, Saint Jerome. Let's see. Oh, and then the rest of it's just, killing, kill everybody, break all their idols, and don't harvest the precious metals out of them, lest you be contaminated with what, evil spirits. I don't know. And then yet another weird interjection, verses 22 and 23, where Moses specified that God isn't going to allow them to just sweep in with their relatively tiny numbers and wipe out all the inhabitants of the land all in one fell swoop, because there'll be too many beasts of the field. What's a wild critter problematic in the area of the Sinai Peninsula? What did they have? I know they talked about badgers a lot, but we never did really figure out what a badger was in context, because that was probably mistranslation back in 1611 by a bunch of English monks who wouldn't have known the Judean desert if they'd been beamed down to it. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of rambling all over the place with this one. I'm just so glad to finally have something that was a little bit fun to talk about. Because my goodness, something new. We just hadn't hardly seen anything new in the entire book of Deuteronomy so far, and there wasn't a great deal new in Numbers, other than some weird sacrificial doctrines. Even though nothing happened, at least Moses got some weird rhetorical stuff out there that we could play around with. All right. Well, this is starting to run a little long, so I guess we'll wrap up the chapter of hornets and genocide and Typhoid Mary, and we'll be back soon with Deuteronomy chapter 8, which, although I've got the book right here in front of me, I'm not even glancing at until it's time to record it, because I kind of want to be caught off guard if there's anything as wackadoo as there was in this chapter in the upcoming one. Hopefully this won some of you back over who've been just absolutely bored witless through the entire last playlist and a half. Thanks for hanging in there, y'all. It's, this is indeed a spectator sport. Okay, well, we'll see y'all here again soon. Forget not to poke the Pope to subscribe if you've not already. And if you have already, hit those little thumbs up, especially if you like or are intrigued by the possibilities of the new format. Yeah. that's going to do it for us here in the library today. So until we meet again, everybody take care, be safe, and stand against hate. Bye now.